Besides Conrad, it's my favorite traveling partner. It's supposed to be 27 degrees tonight, and we're going to run up to Gatlinburg and camp for the night and do a little hiking tomorrow. Humbu. She cut her foot yesterday of all like playing with the dog next door. So hopefully we don't have to stop early. All right. See you up in Gatlinburg. So the adventure awaits. You know me and fires. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm taking a friend with me. She's never gone camping before with me. We're going to pull in about 8 o'clock at night. It's already going to be dark. I've never been to this campsite before. It's going to be very chilly already, and I'm going to have to try and start a campfire with cold fingers and nervous, trying to make everything run. Should be interesting. I'm going to pick her up right now. Headed to Gatlinburg for a little hiking midweek. Hopefully she'll be quiet up there, because this time of year it gets a little busy. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. So to help stay warm, I decided to get cleaned up before I left and put the clothes on I'm going to wear tonight to sleep in and hike tomorrow. It's a 4-hour drive, and I'm just going to rough it until I get home and take a shower tomorrow night. And this is what happens when winter kind of moves in for the first time. And this shit gets cold. Doesn't get cold easy, but when I do, I do. And I'm on one of those little spells. So I don't feel like getting cold tonight. So got my snowsuit in case I got to sleep in it. I am not getting cold. Yeah. So I've got clean underwear on, and they're not coming off till tomorrow. I take a shower. Yeah, good talk. Todd's doing good. It's about 8:30, I think, and we got to the campground, and I set up the fire like a champ. I felt like $1,000,000. Conrad would have been so proud of me. It's not as pretty as Conrad's Mary Margaret, but it is effective at keeping me warm. Our little humble abode in there. Yeah, good times dealing. Oh yeah, we're gonna be snug as a bug in a rug. Well, we made it. Good tidings though. What's left of her water in her bottom of her bowl is frozen. With frost on. So we stayed, Conrad said 27. We stayed warm in our little humble abode in here. These times, she kept trying to call my sleeping bag, and it's a mummy sleeping bag, so there's barely room for me. I look worse than a fright. I slept in my snowmobile gear. And it wasn't as cold as it seemed. I would have thought it was like 3 degrees, but I guess it's just the first chill of the winter, and I'm just not acclimated yet. But we made it. I had a friend come, and she stayed in the van. I stayed in my tent. Conrad's working. Katahdin. So, anyway, I'll see what trail we can run into today and meet you on the trail. Oh, and my fire success. I was nervous coming down because me and fires have had issues, but it was dry. I did everything right, and it started immediately. So, anyway. Thank you, Conrad. So, trying to make some tea this morning. This is my nighty-night tea from last night. It's frozen. I introduced you to my friend, but she's on the FBI Witness or Protection Program. Oh, you got her laugh. You shouldn't have laughed. They're gonna play it through the videos and figure out who you are. So, a couple lessons learned. Turn it around. Don't forget trash bags. Don't forget salt if you want salt on your duck eggs. Fold your chairs up at nighttime when it's freezing so the frost doesn't keep you from sitting in them the next morning. And then my van behind me, if Conrad was here, probably wouldn't happen. Don't shut your engine off and leave the lights on while you're setting up your tent, because you might have a dead battery. So the inside of my tent is frozen. Just the rain fly, which did help keep me warm. Katahdin, a pretty girl. You're a pretty girl. She is 10 months and a couple days. Looks so silly with her leash hanging off her. Oh, you're a pretty girl. You ready to go hiking? We can go hiking? Got a little duck egg and cream of buckwheat. Chill for a hike. Look at that egg up close. Nice. When you do mess up and your husband's not here, woohoo! And you have a dead battery, you have nice people that will help you. He was with his family. Is this your wife?
Yep.
And his baby. They walked over. I hated to bother him, but he came over. Oh my goodness. What's your first name? What?
Oh, Jake.
Jake. Mr. Jake just saved Angela. Okay. I took a really roundabout way to get here, but I think I'm pretty excited about the outcome of this. Last you heard from me, I was headed to Gatlinburg to hike Gatlinburg. Well, guess what? I made it to Gatlinburg. We had a successful night. Got down to about, I think, 27-ish was what Conrad said. He's not here. He's following me from an app in D.C. because he's working. But my friend is here. We survived the night. We stayed warm enough to get a few hours sleep. But we woke up, and all of a sudden, one, I had a dead battery that I'll tell you about here later. But two, I think we found out, and we didn't want to challenge it because we sounded pretty sure, you can't hike with dogs in Gatlinburg anymore. So we came to the Big South National Fork Park in Juanita, Tennessee. And I got to be honest, I'm going to give you a little go here. Do you see another car? No, I don't. Katahdin is off her leash, and we're going to go check out Angel Falls. I'll get some footage up there. But we are totally winging it and having success winging it. I feel really good about that. We both talked about our husbands, how Conrad can waste his own time, but I can't waste his time. And I just headed out, and we drove 6.5 hours to get here. We could have got here in 3. But we're feeling pretty good about ourselves. Other than letting my battery die, it's been a good trip. We're going to check out Angel Falls. I'll see you there. Is when nobody's here. It takes something, like this is a lot cooler. Something can look cooler if no one else was there in Gatlinburg. And if you got to share it with 40 other people, right. You know? You're like, doo 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 doo. It's kind of pretty. Hi, boo. Hi, boo. Go get him.
That's okay.
Oh,
I'm not gonna sweat that much from the pants.
Walking this trail next to the river. I don't know what it is. Having a big time. Come on, boo. What are you doing?
See, there's definitely cement underneath here.
Funny. I was just telling my friend that Joe Robinette, who we love to watch in Canada, portages a lot, which makes Connor and I want to get on the rivers and at least canoe, backpack, canoe, camp, and hike from the rivers. This seems like it'd be an amazing river. We got a map at the visitor center, so we'll check out and see what this river is. And we'll do a little study, see if we can't come back here and with a canoe and camping stuff in Katahdin. Nice. What a fun, crazy trip. My friend says something about torque. Talking about axe cutting, right? And your husband says you gotta have more torque. We see this truck walk or drive by us. It's got torque on the back. We're just talking about portaging. I had just told her I've never seen portaging in Tennessee. Did I not just say that a couple minutes ago? And boom. Check that out. What are you doing? What do you think, Katahdin? Is this fun? Is that fun? Is that fun? Does that feel good? Just wanted to add something to this video. I haven't done this before, but I just kind of wanted to drive a point home. Not this one, even though I do want to say this. First of all, I don't go out on my own because I'm a feminist or anything like that. I prefer to go out with Conrad, but sometimes he's just not available. He's the breadwinner in the family. He was in Washington, D.C. I decided to go out to challenge myself to see if I could stay warm. Been working on my fire building skills. If you caught Angela's first fire failure. Yeah, man, fires have just God, it's been a bad run. Well, hopefully I broke that. So I wanted to challenge that and stay warm. I slept in my snowmobile suit, but you'll hear throughout the video a couple things. Forgot trash bags, forgot salt for my duck eggs, fun things like that, or not fun things, but silly things like that. But I did one major failure this time as well. That again, if Conrad was there, it wouldn't have happened. And I say this because it's important and it could save our lives at some point. I let my dadgum battery die in my van. I pulled into this campsite. It was a campsite with you pay to stay. It was busy. It was fairly late. I didn't want to wake anybody up. It was mostly RVers, but there was a couple other campers there, tent people, and there was one right next to us. And so I was trying to be quiet. Pulled in. All my doors were open. My lights were on so that I could set up my tent. And I let my battery die. And it got down to about 26 degrees. And had we been out somewhere, different circumstances, it doesn't take much more than that to freeze to death in certain situations. If you'd gotten wet or whatever, had we been hiking and sweating and gotten hypothermia and then couldn't get warm. So I was pretty upset about myself that I let that happen. I just wanted to add that. But anyway, but the good news is my fire was kick butt. I had, first thing I did is, because this friend I hadn't hiked with before and I didn't want her to get cold, I was in 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I had a rip-roaring fire. I did it all teepee style, and because it was just me and Connie wasn't there and I didn't want to ask her to video, I just rocked it. So that was a good thing. Woke up next morning, everything was frozen solid, and was mad at myself I let my battery die. I just kind of wanted to add that. Love y'all. Thanks for everything.